Howdy folks, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another episode of our UK challenge, Be the Last Bastion of Democracy, even though I should have called it the Imperial Federation challenge, because the UK doesn't exist anymore. There is just the Commonwealth of Nations. And yeah, you've seen that this episode is surprisingly short, because of, let's say, the plans that I had in mind for 1940 and 1941, and also because of the plans that the AI had for, let's say, 1940 against me. Briefly, while I was, let's say, recording the end of the previous episode, I noticed one thing. I noticed how well the Axis invasion of the Russian provisional government was going, and I was honestly being I was afraid that the Axis would have capitulated the Russian let's say government before I had the chance to even declare war against both the Axis and the Russian government, right? So I said to myself, okay, maybe it's time to get ready. It's time to prepare the army. It's time to prepare the fleet and the air force, and yeah, just be ready to strike precisely in the moment in which the Axis were, I thought, at their weakest position. And I genuinely thought that the Axis would have been in their weakest position while they were busy invading Russia. And oh my god, I turned out to be extremely wrong. First of all, because the Axis was not weak at all. I really underestimated the manpower and training and production capacity of the combined Axis forces, which now included basically the entire Europe, including Scandinavia, besides Norway, which was, let's say, which had a horrible fate. I underestimated the Axis forces, and I overestimated my own, because I was like, yeah, sure, I can deploy like 5 armies of fully trained infantry divisions, and then I realized, holy boy, I need to defend like 5 fronts in Africa only. I mean, 4 fronts in Africa only, and 1 front in the Middle East. And yeah, I took the decision to really not protect my homeland, the British Islands, because I focused everything on the North African front. And speaking about the African front, sorry, and talking about the African front, I decided to divide my 5 armies into different portions of the front line. One whole army was deployed along the Ethiopian front. One was deployed in half in Nigeria, I think it was, and in other parts of British-controlled Africa. 12 divisions were kept in reserve around El Cairo and Alexandria, and 12 were deployed along the Libyan border. Sure, I still had my my fleet, which as you can see here, I let's say reorganized into my combat task forces, and then I realized, oh my god, I need to send at least 3 of them, 3 of the carriers / battleships task forces to the Far East to potentially deter any Japanese invasion of the Dutch East Indies and all these oil-rich regions. And let's say, small spoiler alert, while I was busy issuing orders, preparing my battle plans and stuff like that, I decided to justify on the Italian puppet of Ethiopia, because I thought, okay, if I can justify on Ethiopia, the Italians will be caught, hopefully, by surprise by this attack. And yeah, I failed to realize that the Italians have justified in the meantime against Malta on me. And the Italian declaration of war caught me completely by surprise. And this is why I decided to cut this video short here. I was absolutely not prepared to fend off the combined Axis offensive. True, to prevent the Axis from gaining even more allies, I decided to preemptively occupy Iraq, which is, if on one hand was maybe a good decision in the short term, in the long run turned out to be a very problematic one, because now I kind of had an enormous salient which was incuneating into the Axis-controlled Syria, Turkey, and Iran. And yeah, I really regretted having done this, because, well, you will see in the next episode what will come. But until then, folks, as always, thank you very much for watching, thank you very much for supporting the channel. I wish you all the best, and well, stay tuned until the next episode for more fun.